Breaking news, the Kansas City Chiefs will be without wide receiver Marquise Brown for an extended period of time. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us here on this special at-home edition of the Chiefs Report. I'm actually on the road on vacation in Albuquerque the next couple days, but that doesn't stop breaking news from happening. And let's get right to it. Jordan Schultz of Bleacher Report putting out this tweet moments ago. Sources, the Chiefs are placing wide receiver Marquise Brown on IR, and he will undergo surgery to repair his dislocated SC joint. After multiple imaging studies, it was determined that although Hollywood felt better, his injury was not healing correctly. Without corrective surgery, he would risk a more serious long-term injury. The surgery is scheduled for Monday with Peter Millett in Vail, Colorado, and the Chiefs will monitor his rehab progress throughout the season. That is the latest update. Jordan Schultz saying that Hollywood Brown will be out several months as he goes through this long-term surgery. We're going to go more in depth. Where do the Chiefs go from here? And what does this all mean for Hollywood Brown coming up in just a moment? But, folks, this is why you subscribe. Look, I know I may be on vacation, maybe out of the office, but that doesn't stop news from happening, folks. We are built different around here on the Chiefs Report. I want to make sure you subscribe. We're getting close to 58,000 subscribers. The biggest way you can thank me for bringing you news, even on my off day, is just by hitting that sub button and subscribing to the Chiefs Report for free. We're going to be live coming up this Sunday for the Chiefs and Bengals game starting at 4:25 Eastern, 3:25 Pacific, or Central Time, rather. So make sure to join us. We're going to have a great time right here on the channel. Subscribe now for free. You'll be glad you did. All right. So what do the Chiefs do from this point forward? Where do they go from here? That's the next question for the Kansas City Chiefs. And we saw this past week that the Chiefs, without Hollywood Brown, the receiving corps stepped up and did a very good job. Rashee Rice with 7 catches for 103 yards. Xavier Worthy with 2 catches for 47 yards and a touchdown score. Noah Gray with 3 catches for 37 yards. Travis Kelce with 3 catches for 34 yards. Pacheco with 2 catches for 33 yards in the win against Baltimore. And the way I look at it, it's not going to be just one guy that replaces Hollywood Brown. It is going to take a collective effort to step in. It's not like you just ask Xavier Worthy, all right, you're Hollywood Brown now. Go do what Hollywood was doing. That's not it at all. It's going to be a collective effort of using everybody to fill that spot. And kind of the one silver lining about all this is that Hollywood had only been here a few months. So it's not like these guys aren't used to playing without him. They know how this offense operates. I mean, you look at this receiving corps last year, it was much worse than what it is now. And there was no Hollywood Brown there. So this isn't a crazy situation. And a lot of people are writing off this Chiefs receiving corps around the league already and saying, hey, they don't have Hollywood. Worthy is a rookie. What's Rashee Rice going to do? I think they're underestimating this wide receiver group. I think the Chiefs wide receiver group is going to be just fine. And we'll see how they do this week going up against the Cincinnati Bengals team. But honestly, one of the things I want to see as well, besides just these other guys kind of step up in a collective effort to replace Hollywood, but I want to see this team run the football more. And I think that will certainly make things a lot easier of trying to replace Hollywood Brown if you establish the run game. And you look at this weekend in particular against Cincinnati, we talked about earlier in the week, the Bengals have one of the worst run defenses in football. This Chiefs team last year against Cincinnati had their way. Pacheco rushed for over 120 yards in that win. They just gave up 170 yards on the ground in New England last week. So for me, not only should we see more Pacheco in the receiving game, but you also should run the football more. I think that's a big key to their success. What is your one-word reaction to the news that the Chiefs are going to be without Hollywood Brown for an extended period of time? What would your one word be? I'll give you my one word here in just a moment, but I want to hear from you guys first. Weigh in, let us know in the comments section below. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time has got you covered. This Sunday's Chiefs-Bengals game is the Game Time game of the week. And that's the game that Game Time is most hyped about. It's the one that's got all the deals. If you're looking for the super deals, you want to use their seat views to get the visuals, see what your seat is like. You got to take advantage of the Game Time Game of the Week. Get your tickets for this Sunday's Chiefs and Bengals game. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite team play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. One time is at Game Time. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. So my one-word reaction is patience. If you recall, the reports that were out there earlier in the week were that Hollywood was about 50-50 when it came to his chances of playing this weekend, and that he for sure was going to play next week against the Atlanta Falcons. That's what we were initially told. And now, here we are, and he's going to be out for a while. And as much as it sucks, you would love to see him out there. The reality is, for this Kansas City Chiefs team, this is not a team that's trying to fight to make the playoffs, that needs all these wins stacking up in September and trying to help their postseason efforts here. I mean, this team won 11 games last year, entered the playoffs as a 3 seed, and everything went just fine. Your goal with Hollywood is to be available when it counts. The Chiefs play for wins in December and in January and February. Other teams around the NFL, this is their bread and butter right now because they're just fighting for survival. For the Chiefs, with knowing the re-injury risk that was out there with Hollywood of, hey, if you play him now and he gets banged up again, you might not have him again later, they are making the right call. Dr. Rick Burkholder is one of the best in the National Football League when it comes to the medical staff and the decisions they've made. They're going to look out for Hollywood's best interests, and they're going to look out for what's best for this team. And ultimately, I trust their judgment, that they're making the right call, that they're doing the right thing for Hollywood. I think it makes a ton of sense. So, with that said, going from here, rolling with this receiving core as is, it wouldn't surprise me if they do potentially go shopping and look at their options at the receiver position, whether it be a trade or whether it be free agency, one of the two. But I feel better about this receiver group than most people do. I think you're going to be okay, that you're going to be just fine, that you can work through this, and then when Hollywood gets back, that's great. I think one guy we haven't talked about, too, is that you'd like to see more of Mecole Hardman. I think Mecole Hardman's a guy that the Chiefs could look to, especially with Hollywood, the speed that he brings, the ability to stretch the field. I think that Mecole Hardman could potentially supplement to fill that role for a bit. One thing I want to say, too, I am really tired of hearing from people point to Xavier Worthy and say, oh, yeah, he's a gadget player. He's got all the speed and all that. What we saw last week, Xavier Worthy's more than just a gadget player, and that is disrespectful, I think, to be called him a gadget player. I think you're going to see Xavier Worthy's play elevate quite a bit over these next couple of weeks, and he's going to look like the real deal. So get ready for that when it comes to Xavier Worthy there. So with that said, what's your confidence level in this Chiefs receiving core right now? If you had to scale it for me 1 through 10, what's your confidence level at the moment? I still feel pretty good. I'm at about a 7.5. I think you also have to mention the tight end spot, too. Travis Kelce has to do more than he did last week. Noah Gray, you've gotten paid now. Let's see a little more out of Noah Gray as well. To me, just a collective effort. I think this Chiefs team is ultimately going to be fine. Scale it for me in the comments section, your confidence level in this Chiefs receiving core. Appreciate you joining us here on this edition of the Chiefs Report. Now I'll go back to my vacation, enjoying myself a little weekend getaway here in New Mexico, and then we'll be live again coming up this Sunday for Chiefs and the Bungles. Our coverage begins 3:25 Central Time, 4:25 Eastern. Big Tex is going to join me. You will not want to miss it. Subscribe now for free And we will see you coming up this Sunday right here on the Chiefs Report. It'll be a great time. You will not want to miss it. And if we get any more updates in Hollywood Brown, we'll keep you posted on everything that's going on here on the channel. I'm Tyler Jones. Have a great rest of your Friday, and we'll see you later on here on the Chiefs Report.